Good morning. So, fad diets. I thought I'd make a video on the topic of why they are a terrible idea, why fad diets don't work, okay? And I'm going to share my own personal experience on fad diets, you know, what my thoughts are about them. You know, because I've done one myself, I can give you my real life experience on the topic. I can let you know exactly how I felt, how long I did it for, you know, what I learned from doing that, you know, fad diet, and, you know, just give you some advice, okay? So let's get started. So what is a fad diet? A fad diet basically is a way that you can, you know, it's a diet that's not sustainable, but you can achieve very fast results, right? So it's a way that you cheat and manipulate your body and try and, let's say, lose, you know, 10 kilos in 12 weeks or whatever it might be, right? You know how you have those like commercials, or you have people trying to say like, look, I can help you lose 12 kilos in 12 weeks, right? And these are fad diets, right? This is where you are wanting the quick results. You know, left your, like, you've got an event coming up, you've got like maybe a wedding or whatever it might be, a function, and you want to, you know, really lose weight really quick, right? So let's say you're going overseas in a couple of months, you're like, nah, I need to lose like 8 kilos, right? You go on a fad diet. And when you go on a fad diet, you're going to be significantly cutting your calories, right? So your macronutrients are going to be significantly cut. And when I say macronutrients being cut, for those that are kind of, you know, a bit new to fitness, it's when your carbohydrates, your fats, they're basically like in poverty mode, meaning you're not getting many carbs, you're not getting many fats. You might be getting just like, you know, whey protein, for example, with water, but your calories are very low, right? And I'm not saying they don't work, right? They do work, but what you must understand is it's not sustainable, because as soon as you lose that weight, okay, you're going to be putting the weight back on. If not, you'll be putting on more weight, right? So you'll be in a worse position than when you started the whole diet. And weight loss is not a marathon, right? Weight loss is something that you want to, weight loss is not a sprint, right? Like, you don't want to be accelerating your weight loss journey. You want to be planning it properly, and you got to understand the reality, right? And I'm going to tell you the harsh truth about fat loss. It can take anywhere from 3, 6, 9, even 12 months, depending on how, I guess, fat you are, or how much body fat you have, to how long it will take for you to lose that weight, right? And that's why I say the longer you let yourself go, that's when I find a lot of people generally want to go on fad diets, because they get turned off by not hearing the answer they want, right? And they want to hear like, oh, can I lose all that weight in 12 weeks? Yeah, you can, but you're going to put it back on, right? A fat loss journey can take anywhere from 3, 6, 9, 12 months, as I said, right? Even longer, depending on how big you are. But when you go on a particular fad loss diet, you're signaling to your body that, hey, I'm not giving you the right nutrients that it needs. Okay, and your body's not stupid, right? It's going to know that you're starving yourself, right, in a way. And when you start starving yourself from, you know, getting the right carbohydrates, the right fats, even the right proteins, and you just purely just starve yourself, you're going to be feeling like, you're going to feel dehydrated, you're going to feel like you're, you know, tired, you're going to have no energy, you will have energy, but it's going to be very significantly impacted, right? And you're going to have very, very bad fluctuations in mood, right? Your mood and your emotions are going to be all over the place. You're going to be very clumsy. You're going to start leaving things everywhere. You're going to not be able to make right decisions. In other words, your normal day-to-day functionality as a human, or as a man, I should say, is going to be significantly impacted, right? And trust me when I say that, because I'm going to give you a personal experience on my fat loss journey. When I was almost at about 17% body fat, and within 12 weeks I got to like 7, right? And that is like within 12 weeks, and that's 3 months, right? So in 3 months I was at 17% body fat, had love handles, stomach was all, bulky, had a gut, and I got down to 7% body fat, right? And I looked shredded. I looked absolutely diced. I still had muscle on there, but at the end of the day, I also would have, sacrificed a lot of muscle as well, right? Like I would have, because I was on a restricted calorie diet, my muscle would have got eaten, right? I would have lost a potential muscle building opportunity, but I was so focused on losing the fat so quickly, right? So my calories generally to, cut weight is roughly 2,400, right? 24, even 25, right? That's my calorie deficit. What I did to get down from 17% body fat down to like 7 in 12 weeks was I dropped my calories to like 1,700 calories, man. I significantly dropped it. So I pretty much ate like what a 5'6" girl would eat, right? Like I literally like ate the same amount of calories, maybe even a bit less. And let me tell you one thing, right? Even though I got the results, I ended up going from 7 to like back to like 12% body fat after that, right? So I put on 5% body fat after I finished the 12-week cut. I went on a diet break for about a month, and this is where I went wrong. I rebounded on the diet break, so which meant I started to crave, junk food, like foods that I was starving myself from, like, carbohydrates, fats, certain proteins, because I did this cut for so long and I was so strict with being on 1,700 calories, so I did it for 12 weeks. I just craved pizzas, I craved pastas, I craved burgers, and I couldn't stop myself, man. So when I was on that diet break, yes, I was eating fairly clean. So it'd kind of be like a 60-70% clean diet, and the other 40% would be my cravings, right? So it'd be like the wood-fired pizzas, the burgers, the pastas, all those sort of things, right? And at that point in my life, I was also smoking weed, right? So when I was smoking weed, it made me, crave more munchies. I don't smoke anymore, but when I did smoke at that point in my life, I was craving a lot of munchies, and I just couldn't stop myself, man. It was literally like a little kid in a candy store. I was literally like that when it came to food. So anyway, I did that diet break for 4 weeks, took a break, and a diet break's done so you replenish your body, okay, your hormone levels go back to normal, and it took me a good 4 weeks, and I vividly remember to this day the way I felt when I was on that cut was an absolute nightmare. I remember leaving my keys in different locations, like different places. I remember losing my wallet. I couldn't go to shopping centers when I was driving my car. I literally couldn't drive at night because that rear view mirror that you normally have, the rear vision mirror, whenever I see cars coming behind me with their headlights on, it would just give me anxiety, right? So I just had to flip that. I would literally drive with that flipped upside down. If I had to drive, it could only be for like 10 minutes maximum, maybe 15 at the most. I was swerving, like sometimes like in between traffic, like accidentally like sort of swerving closer to another vehicle. Just completely mentally drained, man. I had no energy whatsoever. It literally felt like, honestly, I was dying, man. My hormones were out of whack, and little things would really bother me. So it played with my mental state, my mood. And at the end of the day, look, it was a lesson to be learnt. But if I was to, if I was given that opportunity to do that again, would I do it? Definitely not. And I would not recommend anyone to do it, right? It's going to mentally mess with your head. And because I was someone that's been training for, I've got over 7 years of training. It wasn't going to turn me off or I quit, right? Like I'm not that sort of person, right? Because fitness is a very big factor in my life, right? It saved me from a lot of going down the wrong path, right? So fitness is very important for me, and my mental health. But I could imagine if someone was overweight, they went on a FAD diet, they got the results they wanted, then after they finished the FAD diet, they put all the weight back on, because that's what's going to happen to the average person that doesn't really have much knowledge in fitness, that hasn't gone on a weight loss journey, and they try to cheat it and do it the quick way. They will find themselves worse than when they started the fat loss journey. So whatever percentage you were at, you're going to be back at that again, because you might be thinking, oh, but I can control what I eat, right? No, you can't, man. When you starve yourself with all those like poverty calories, we should say, your body's just going to crave junk food, man. It's going to crave like foods that are oily, foods that are basically not good for you, right? So it's not worth it, because at the end of the day, that's also going to mentally affect you, because it's going to turn you off weight loss. It's going to turn you off exercise, fitness. B, you're going to look at yourself in the mirror and feel shit, because you're like, wow, I invested 12 weeks into this, now I'm in a worse position on week 16. You know what I mean? You don't want to do this to yourself. You want to enjoy your fat loss journey, and there's a way to do fat loss properly, right? You go on like a 12-week cut. You either do like a reverse diet or a diet break. You replenish your body for at least 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, and then you go back on your cut again, and you just keep doing that. You keep switching, right? Cut, diet break, until you reach the desired body fat percentage level, where you look at yourself in the mirror and go, okay, cool, I'm happy with that. I want to stay like that. That's when you do a reassessment on the body. You want to reassess how much, what your kilograms, or some people watching this might count in pounds, but what your weight is, okay? And you just need to also make a few other calculations to see exactly, what your new maintenance calories will be, right? And then you just eat at that maintenance, and you basically lock it in, right? You lock it in to a fact that you're not going to get much higher in body fat percentage once you reach that level, right? Because you've done it the right way. So that's why I say losing fat is a longer process than people think, right? And it baffles me with a lot of these fitness guys, because this is the selling point, right? They tell you, I can help you lose weight in 12 weeks. Okay, I can also do the same for you too, right? But at the end of the day, what happens after 12 weeks? After 12 weeks, you're going to put the weight back on. You're going to be like, Dimmy said he's going to, he was going to get me the weight loss, and now I'm in a worse position, right? So you're not going to be happy with me. And that's why they try to get you, these fitness guys, right? They say you can easily get you down in 12%, in 12 weeks, get you down to a lower body fat percentage. But what they're not explaining to you is it's a long process, man. It can take 3, 6, 9, 12 months it can take to lose weight and properly keep it off. That's why I'm saying it takes that long, because you're not going to put the weight back on in life unless you stop training and you start eating crap. Then obviously you're going to put weight back on, but you won't be putting it back on in a quick rate, right? If you, for example, lose fat the right way, and you take your time with it, and let's say for an unexpected reason you're prevented from training for a month, right? You've had an injury, you've had something, doctor said you can't go to the gym for 1 month, right? During that 1 month, let's say, you eat at your maintenance, some of the foods that you were eating were, foods that you craved because you couldn't go to the gym, you were feeling a bit upset. You're not going to put the body fat back on as quick as someone who tried to rush the whole process, is what I'm saying. Because your body's done it for so long, it won't allow you to put body fat back on as quick, right? Because you've done this process the right way. And that's my best advice I can give to you, right? There's no such thing as a fad diet. Yes, it will work, but you'll be paying the price for it during the journey, after the journey. And if you're not a strong-minded person, if you're really weak, you're going to be turned off fitness, you're going to be turned off exercise. And look, man, as a grown man, do things the right way, right? Don't be trying to cut corners with your fat loss like women generally do, right? I hate to bring that up, but women always do. They got a wedding coming up, they want to get nice and lean for the wedding. What happens after the wedding? The bride's fat again, right? Same thing with the groom, they're fat again. And it's just you didn't basically want to put in the work that was required to get there, so you wanted to cut corners, and you got to live a miserable lifestyle after that. Because no one fat is happy. Look, there might be an exception to the rule, but majority of people that I know that are fat are not happy, all right? And even if they are, one day or another, the doctor's going to give them a wake-up call and say, look, your body weight is unhealthy, you can risk getting all these diseases, you need to start doing something about it. So eventually you're going to have to do something anyway, right? So there's no point of ignoring this. You might as well do this the right way, and do it the way that actually you can sustain, you can maintain it, keep it off for a while, like keep it off for the rest of your life, you know what I mean? That's what you want, right? So when I see these stupid like 4 to 12 weeks, you know, extreme fat loss like journeys that people go on, it just looks so stupid, man. You just see them like trying so hard, busting like so much effort into cardio, significantly dropping the calories, and you almost look so skinny, like, because you're going to be eating muscle in the process, right? Instead of doing it the right way, where you can possibly even build a little bit of muscle and lose weight, they're the people that know what they're doing, right? The ones that don't know what they're doing are the ones that fall for those, you know, gimmicks where someone that's shredded is trying to sell them a bullshit program. And again, we live in this era where people will lie to you, right? But that's why I say this is a no BS channel, man. I want to just tell you the truth, exactly how it is, and hopefully you can make your own decision. You can do whatever you want, right? I give you the information, you decide what you want to do. I didn't make this up, right? This is basically how the body works, the human body, and this is anyone that actually knows about fitness properly will tell you the same thing I told you, right? It's just whether or not they want to tell you the truth or not. Look, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I hope you gained some insight from it. I hope you understood why fad diets are, you know, a terrible idea, man. It's a very bad idea. You don't want to be, you know, doing this, like, you don't want to be doing this whole journey of fat loss. You want to try and enjoy this. That way, when you lose all the fat, you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, wow, you know, I put in the effort. It took me, you know, it wasn't easy. And you can then tell that information to the next person that's wanting to lose weight, you know, like, you can tell them the truth of how long it actually took you, the realistic way, right? That's why I see a lot of people start something, they don't finish it. They start something, they don't finish it. Why? Because they don't get the quick results. Give it time, man. It's your body, right? Give it time. You're not a robot. You're not a machine, right? You need to have a bit of self-love and also understand the reality when it comes to losing weight, right? So I'm going to end the video here. I hope you liked it. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. It really means a lot. And yeah, if you know someone that's, you know, trying to lose weight, you know, they're trying to rush it, you know, a quick way, send them this video, man. They can hopefully watch it and gain some insight, some wisdom, some knowledge. But I'm going to end it here. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.